I'm Rhea, or Bill, and I'm a wheelchair user. And Annie Sagara and BuzzFeed did a couple videos answering questions about wheelchairs and dating life and what it's like, and more perspectives are better, so I decided I'd answer these questions as well. And to disclose in the beginning, I'm in a polyamorous relationship. I'm dating 2 people. So it works. So, first question. Do you think there are any advantages to dating in a wheelchair? You find out who are assholes. And, it's also cool because, I know the people I'm dating, if something drastic happens, I end up in a wheelchair, they're still gonna be around. They're willing to work with different things, they're open-minded, and they're willing, it makes communication a lot more, because I have to communicate, so that's cool, that's an upside, and, sometimes there's certain things that are really romantic about being in a wheelchair, or, intimate, getting pushed around, and things like that. I kind of like that in romance, it makes it fun, and it makes it special, and it makes me feel close to people. The second question, do your dates ever offer to push you around in a wheelchair instead of doing it yourself? Does this make you feel angry or awkward? I actually just brought that up, but yes. On first dates it's a little bit weird because there's a lot of explaining to do on how to push me, and I have sensitivities like bumpiness and things like that, which make it tough, and then there's just learning how to push a wheelchair. But, I appreciate it, because I can't push myself an entire outing, and as long as they, offer and don't do it without asking, it's actually really nice. Has a guy ever been able to pick you up and almost cradle you? This is a strange question. I don't think anyone's tried. I mean, people probably could pick me up, but I guess if you ask, I wouldn't be okay with it, but some people might. What do you do when your date says they want to take you to some place you know is not wheelchair friendly? I say no. I speak up. They have to figure it out. There are so many places that are accessible. There are so many places that aren't accessible, but there are also so many that are. And, we can figure something out. I can suggest somewhere else. But if we go somewhere that's not accessible, it's just not gonna happen. So, and I usually check myself, even if they suggest a place and they say it's accessible, because there's accessible and actually accessible. How awkward is a blind date for you? I've never been on a blind date. I assume it would be awkward, but it would be awkward for more reasons than me being in a wheelchair, blind dates just seem awkward. I guess it'd be awkward because the first question they'd ask, or the second question they'd ask after they were comfortable enough, would be, what's your disability? But that's not just a blind date, that's just anyone you meet. Do you like it when a guy or person, because we're of all sexualities here, gives you more attention because you're in a wheelchair? It depends, I guess. If it's because, they like me because I'm in a wheelchair, that's kind of weird, because they're probably making some stereotypes and associations there that I don't want made, unless they're also disabled. If it's someone else disabled, then it's kind of shared experience that's the motivator, that's fine, and I would like that, and then there's also the fact that my wheelchair is covered in flowers and completely decorated, and I've decorated it a ton of ways. So if they're giving me attention for that, why not? It's art. I appreciate my work. Can you have sex? The age-old question. Yeah. I can't have traditional sex, you put your dick in, you put your dick out, you put your dick in, and you shake it all about kind of sex. A lot of wheelchair users can. I can't. It depends on the person. And not wheelchair users also have different needs and wants for sex, and I think the best way to communicate, but yeah, I can have sex. How do you have sex? That is the awkwardest question that I'm not gonna answer, but like, mainly just have sex. How do normal people have sex? I mean, I can't do it standing up. I can do it in my chair if I want to, but I mean, you just do it. Do people have trouble making a move on you? I don't know because I'm not other people. If we're talking about flirting, some people are definitely uncomfortable. And not just with flirting, but just with complimenting me. Like, I was at the mall earlier, and someone's, like, talking to my mom, and they're like, I like her hair. I'm like, that's nice, but you could have said that to me. So there's things like that where people don't feel comfortable talking to me and approaching me, and that's very clear, like, and that's not just with flirting, that's with everything. But then I think also, like, some people are really chill. I mean, if you flirt with me, I'm gonna respond the same way if you flirt with me if I wasn't in a wheelchair. And then the same thing, like, if it's like putting your arm around me or stuff like that, that's like easy. I mean, you can't hold my hand while we walk because I'm pushing myself, but like, you know, can hold my hand while we drive or do other stuff. And so, you know, different things, but they all work. Does wheelchair ruin the romance? I mean, here's the thing. Ruining the romance? I don't think it does, because I have really romantic relationships, and there are ways the wheelchair adds and subtracts from that romance. But it does make things hard at times. It does make me feel insecure. It does make me feel unlovable at times. And there's obviously more things to talk about in a relationship. Sometimes you can't do normal relationship things, like going out to prom is a little bit harder and things like that. But the thing is, if your romance is defined by those things, I mean, that's not my kind of romance. Like, if that's the only reason, you know, it works. And, like, there are plenty of romantic things I can do. And there are plenty of romantic things I enjoy doing. There's, like, wheelchair-specific romantic things, like pushing each other around, or going down giant ramps, or, you know, it's just, there's different things. And there are times it's harder, especially because both my partners are able-bodied. There's a lot of things to explain and to talk about, but communication, like with any relationship, there's a lot of things to explain and talk about, and in the end of the day, I think it works, so it works. It doesn't ruin anything. And that's the last question. If you have any more, you can send them to my Ask box on Tumblr, interlude-holiday. And yeah, if there are any other wheelchair users or other disabled people that aren't chair users that want to answer the same or similar questions, go ahead, because it's good to get as many people as we can talking about this and teaching about this, because every disabled person has a different experience, and so everyone has something to share that can be learned.